Yo, stop what you're doing real quick. Go ahead and hit that like button. I appreciate it. Subscribe too. Once upon a time, there was this kid with big dreams. He dreamed of taking over the world. One of his biggest dreams was to be on television. He wanted to be just like everyone that he saw. He wanted everyone to look up to him. He wanted everyone to admire him. So he envisioned himself in every situation, every show. I'm here to tell you today, if you're just like that kid, keep dreaming. Dream big, because you truly never know. One day, you could be that person that's on television. Keep dreaming. This is Not Your Average Success Story, Season 5.
But it's just really just everybody focusing on themselves. That's primary. You have to focus on yourself. You have to understand who you are as a person and what you want in life. And it creates confusion with people you love because you still don't understand in totality what you want. And if you don't know that, how can you express that to somebody else? But they feel like you've had time enough to figure that out. You know, this, that, and the other. You might differ, you might agree. You might not even admit that to yourself. You might not be able to admit that to yourself. You might not be able to understand that. But the fact still remains that rushing or pressing somebody, not saying that that's the intention, but that sometimes that's what comes across to somebody who's not able to understand someone else's perception on how they see stuff. If you're not able to understand where someone else comes from, what they're saying is only controlled by your bias and what you know and what you can conceptualize and what you can understand. And that's not anyone's fault. That's who they are. But it has to be understood that that's who they are. Like, you can't control people because something's not right about them. You can only do your best to help them. There's never a time span on that. If you care for someone, it's never a time span, even if they're not ready. They have to mature. They have to mature, and although they might be mature, they might be grown, of age, have a job, have their own, maybe have kids. But it's a level of maturity that comes with wisdom. Not too much what you think you know. It's experience. You have to go through stuff and you have to learn from it yourself. You can't really get that from other people. You have to do that yourself. But the thing is, just how when we were growing up, our parents would take care of bills. And it got to a point where they were struggling and they kept that a secret from their children because it's nothing they could do about it. It's nothing that we could do about it. It's nothing that the kids could do about it. Not saying that I look at that as in the same metaphor, but I look at it as in if you could see yourself keeping stuff from people that you love the most for their better health, how could you not see that I could do the same thing and not be wrong? Not because I would want to keep stuff from people, but because I feel like it's a better relationship and it's a better representation of who I am if I keep certain stuff exclusive. Like, and to be honest, most people don't have to understand that. A lot of people don't have to understand that, but it's not my place to get people to understand me. What I feel like my place is to get the people to know how I feel. Like, to understand me, that's like being redundant. You continue to try to get somebody to understand you, but everybody's ideals are different. Everybody's thought process is different. A lot of people don't know they have to understand that. But I know for a fact that a lot of people are not gonna understand the type of person I am and how I think. So I don't go as far as to try to explain it, because your mind not gonna be able to comprehend exactly what I'm trying to get across to you. Yes, you might hear me, but it's not gonna actually touch base with you. You know what I'm saying? Because we are on two different levels. Not saying that I'm smarter than anybody, but just the way I think about stuff is in a whole different relevance than some other person. Like, we do it a whole different type of way. Like, not saying that I'm any less or they're any better or vice versa, but everybody in the world is different, but everybody is unique in their own way because they are different. You know what I'm saying? Like, I do my best to be a man the best way I know and the best way I can. So that's a part of me feeling like I'm a man. Well, not feeling like a man, that's a part of me holding up my duties as a man. What's up, bro?
You gonna be over here for a minute?
Yeah, pull back up. Pull back up. That's just me doing my duties as I feel a respectable man would do. He wouldn't drown the people he loved in sorrow because he couldn't handle himself. I'm not gonna be that dude that, you know what I'm saying, like, put all my imperfections and all my faults on somebody else like I'm not responsible. Me taking responsibility for my actions is me keeping stuff to myself. Everybody do stuff different. Everybody has their own way of dealing with situations or coping with their lifestyle. Because whether or not people know people specifically, family members, friends, associates, people deal with stuff that they don't express to people, even in the everyday basis. They keep it to themselves because they're not comfortable with themselves about it to even express it to somebody else. So that's a big part of what I like to try to get expressed to people that I communicate with, that I actually care for, is that maybe I'm not communicating myself the way you think I should, but the fact that I'm attempting to communicate myself should give you more evidence than what I'm saying. Like the fact that that you know that I'm not the type of person to at all try to explain how I feel emotionally. And when I try my best to do it and put it in word form, it's like it's not being comprehended or understood. So I feel like, dang, what am I honestly not making sense? Like, and is what I'm thinking unconceivable? Like, am I just really just making stuff up in my head? Because when I express myself to other people, other than that, I only, pretty much keep stuff to myself. I try to figure out stuff within myself. But when I express it to other people, and it seems like it never comes across, it kind of knocks me down a couple levels. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, dang, bro. Like, are you really tripping? Like, you know what I'm saying? I have to really realize a lot of stuff about myself. Like, are you really tripping, bro? Like, I know a lot of stuff that goes on in life is caused by self. So I take responsibility for that. But at the same time, people shouldn't be held at fault because they trying to find themselves. That makes people even more uncomfortable, in my opinion. When you try to force something, people need to just how they naturally grew up. They have to naturally become themselves, understand who they really are beyond what was standardized for them, what you have to be. That's why everybody's unique, because they branch out in their own different ways. And I appreciate, the entire operation on giving me this opportunity to speak. All parties, the cameraman, the person who came up with the idea, my brother, everybody who included their opinions and thoughts and feelings, because all that's important. But the thing is, everybody that you will see express themselves do not express their self the same. Everybody do it a different way. That has to be understood, united.
Hey, where you going? Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Appreciate you.